I've been expecting you, Mr. Bond. No, actually, this is going to be our first episode of a new mini-series we're calling Cover versus Concealment. And while it may seem a little morbid, a lot of active shooter scenarios happen in office places. So we figured a good place to start, the humble office chair. So rather than just have a does it go through or not as a metric of success, I decided to adopt the FBI's old method or old standard of penetrative testing, which is will the round penetrate a 1/2-inch pine board? So we've got a series of pine boards set up on this office chair. You see 9mm, 5.56, 7.62 by 39, and 308 Winchester. What we've done is obviously used a highly scientific method of duct taping them to the chair, and we'll be shooting it from the other side to see if in the unthinkable event that you're attacked in your office, if your little office chair offers any sort of actual ballistic protection. So let's head back up range and put some rounds on this target. All right, so to make sure that I don't totally miss the target, because it's a pretty small target, there's a giant point of aim, point of impact shift with this innovative arm suppressor attached to this M9 that was generously provided by Silencer Shop. So I'm going to remove it. That's why I have my earplugs in, prior to engaging that target. The action was empty, all you guys out there that gave me crap last time. And we're going to chamber around and see what a 9mm, 115 grain full metal jacket round does against that pine board through an office chair. Let's see how it does. It seems to be a dead center hit. Awesome. All right, now I'm back with this Century Arms C93. It's a roller delayed HK93 clone, and it's got an ASR flash hider on it. So I'm going to put on my Saker 7.62 sound suppressor, toss in a magazine of 55 grain full metal jacket 223, and we'll see how it works on that second pine board. I think that's a dead center hit, though I can't be completely honest. It's very tough to see black on black. Weapon is clear. Take this can off. So I'm gonna need to use it again here in a second. And I'm gonna grab my AK, which you've probably seen in some of my other videos. This is Suka, my beater AK. She's an SAR-1 that was too damaged for Century Arms to sell, so I requested a very beat up gun to try some seriously negligent stuff on. Action's clear. This is post-span, so there's no threading on the muzzle, otherwise I'd be running something on it. This is a 123 grain full metal jacket. Let's see how this does on that third pine board. Ooh, whacked myself with the ejecting round. There we go. And last, certainly not least, I'm going to be taking a 308 carbine and putting it around through that chair. The carbine is a DSA FAL Voyager with an 18-inch barrel, and I've got a Streamlight ProTac rail-mounted light on there, pretty badass. And again, ASR flash hider, so I can put on my Silencer Co. Saker 7.62 sound suppressor. Okay, it was empty. Just chamber around. This is 168 grain Match King ammunition from Winchester. Let's put a round down there, see how it goes. Woo! That's a gassy gun when it's suppressed. but a good hit it looks like. Okay, you can tell it's bleeding gas. Well, let's head down range and see what the damage is. So what we've got here that's pretty interesting is I hit, it's hard to see, I hit just beneath here and it tumbled down and totally missed the plank. The 9mm similarly actually hit the piece of paper and right here, but the round came out there. It still hit the pine board, and it looks like it still penetrated enough to still be de facto lethal, at least according to the FBI. And the 5.56 and 7.6239 didn't actually hit the board, so we're gonna put some more rounds downrange here in a second. The only round thus far that actually went in where it came out was 308, which you can see in the dead center, that round went right through this chair like it wasn't even there. That's pretty wild. I'll load up a few more rounds, and this time I'm gonna be a little less cautious with how I put them downrange. Let's put a few more 5.56 rounds down and a few 7.6239s, and we'll see how those fare against this chair. All right, so I'm back now, and I've got this C93 loaded up, about 10 rounds of 5.56, and this time we're gonna make sure we absolutely hit that board. So I'm gonna try to put some rounds, not just on the actual bullseye area, but kind of around it as well. All right, let's see how it does. All right, it's clear. And let's load up the AK. Here it is. Do the same thing to the target underneath it. I'll say, in low lighting, it's awfully easy to lose your sights against a black target. We've now put a few rounds downrange against both the 5.56 and the 7.6239 pine board. And let's see if we can see what the damage looks like. All right, so we've got a few interesting things going on right here. Now I've got 3 tight holes on the 223, a little tight grouping, maybe about, I don't even know, probably half an inch. Nothing to write home about at this distance, but still, good grouping. I put rounds in like a semicircle underneath here, just in case the rounds decided to be affected by the material inside the chair and fly up or down. So let's see. Interesting. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits on the plank right now for the 7.6239. What's interesting is I go around, yeah, none of them actually line up with where those rounds went. It looks like it was causing the rounds to move up to about 2.5 to 3 inches from the point of impact to the point of, to the exit, basically. And while that doesn't seem like a huge deal, if you were sitting in the chair, you would still be very dead sitting in the chair. But if the chair were, say, in the doorway to your office and you were on the other side of your small office, 3 inches here is changing the trajectory enough that it might completely miss you. So even though this offers pretty much zero ballistic protection if you're against it, its influence on the terminal ballistics of a round passing through it could actually save your life. And I'm surprised by that. Very much so. I think what's really interesting is the only rounds that went through this thing clean, more or less, and not even entirely. No, the 9mm was the most affected. 308 was the least effective. 308 literally just sailed through as if it were a laser beam. The 9mm shifted because it was the round impacted on the other side of the target right here. That's about a 3-4 inch difference in point of entry point and exit point. That's really wild. The 5.56, what I thought was really surprising is the rounds almost exclusively shifted vertically in their difference between entry wound and exit wound, basically. And the rounds all landed about here on the other side of the chair, and they all came out down here. There's a little tight grouping right there, and it was almost as if as soon as they hit that round, they shifted downward. Again, interesting in that it could actually save your life by altering the trajectory of the round after it goes through the chair. Well, as fascinating as that is, this chair is now kaput, so might as well make the best of a bad situation. Dump a few mags into it. All right, I'm back up range now with this C93, and I was about to put some rounds down range on that chair, and I thought to myself, let's make the best of this chair. And so I put one of Triumph Systems' reactive targets behind it, the ones that bleed, and we can verify that the chair can affect the terminal ballistics of the rounds enough to divert the path to actually render you safe on the other side of an office chair. All right, so about 38 rounds, 5.56, light her up. Woo, that's a gassy gun. Clear? Let's put some AK rounds downrange for good measure. All right, actions are both clear. Take a walk down range and see how it looks. All right, so you can see there's a lot of hits here. A lot of them on the left side over there. And you tell the chair's kind of got a little bit of a slunch to it. So let's see what's going on the other side. Ah, that would do it. Like this support beam right here just got exploded basically. And the connector right here is at the L bracket back here holding in all the foam and crap that broke. But we knew that would happen to the chair, but let's see how our buddy Tommy Terrorist did in the backdrop. I think Johnny Jihad's days of terror are over. Wow, all right, so that's incredible. We've got, that's an AK wound, and you're wondering, wow, he must be an amazing ballistician to know that. No, it's a keyhole shot, and if you look, it looks like, well, that actually could be 223 rounds. It looks like one of the two rounds is actually keyholing as it goes through, and I'm guessing that's the 223, but possibly not, and then while others are going through cleanly. Unfortunately for our buddy here, he caught at least one round to the heart, 1, 2, 3 rounds to the lungs. This one looks like it blew a hole. Oh wow, that's enormous. If you look at the exit wound on that thing, I don't think that guy's gonna be writing home to mom anymore. Woo! He is a very, very dead terrorist. Caught one right below the suicide vest, the gut shot, 2 to the arm. This hand, if he only had one trigger, we had disabled this guy instantly, but his brain is still good. So in the sake of national security, can't let this guy live. Sorry, bucko. Nothing personal. Thanks, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more burst reviews.